Here's a Holmes Too Cool 12-inch oscillating table fan. This is a yard sale of mine from last week. It's a rare fan for the modern days because this fan wasn't sold for that long and not made that long. I had memories of seeing these on the newspapers and in person before growing up, but they were really uncommon regardless of this color scheme or the black with the gray and the blue blades. It's too cool because of these blade sets, two blade sets here. The design here is like a 90s design of the body, the switches, but with two blade sets instead of one blade, and it's louder than the single blade set fan of this design or any 12-inch oscillating fan I've had. Here's the plug, and I'll turn on here to demonstrate before I take it apart for cleaning. This is low. As you can hear, it is louder than a typical single blade set oscillating fan, but the design is really cool as it looks. The oscillator also works too. And here's underneath with the specs. Either this is from 2005 or 2006 originally when these were made. And there you go, that's the initial check, and I'll do a servicing coming up next part of this fan, cleaning and oiling the motor. It's time to clean this fan now, and I'll be removing the front grill, but before that I had to take this screw out with a small Phillips head screwdriver. Now I'll be removing this front grill off, and then I'll be taking the blades out. This has two sets of blades here. Once the blades are out, I'll be taking the rear grill off and then remove the screws from the front motor cover. Then take the switch off and remove the screw from the back motor cover. Here's the switch being unscrewed from the rear motor cover. My least favorite design about this fan is this motor cover design where I cannot slide the switch out easily, and I decided not to bother with taking the switch apart and having to put it back together just to clean up the motor. So I'll keep it like this instead. and it's not easy to take apart like some other fans with the switch on the back. Now it's time to wash these parts out. I took out the base here and the other parts that I featured myself taking apart. They'll be washed and then I'll dry them out before final assembly. Here are the parts being dried out before final assembly. And off it, I took the front badge off the front grill too. Now it's time to oil this fan with 3-in-1 oil, and I'll try to oil this motor carefully. As I said, I don't want to fuss with taking the switch apart just to get the motor cover off. Before I record this step of putting 3-in-1 oil into the motor, I did use a vacuum cleaner with the hose on the blower port to blow the dust out. And oiling this motor is really tricky because it's hard to take the motor cover off without taking the switch apart, which takes time to put together. So this is my best of trying to oil the motor at least. Now it's time to put the fan back together. First off, I'll be screwing the rear motor cover back on again, and then I'll screw the switch back together, and then put the knob on. It's time to put back the front motor cover on, which I'm doing in this video. And then I'll be going back to the rest of the final assembly before trying this fan out again after cleaning. Here's final assembly of the fan with the back grill being assembled on, then the two of the blade sets together and the front grill coming up. And after that I'll try this fan out and show how it sounds after cleaning.